Some things are better left unsaid, but even more are best left unshared. Throughout history, entire empires and powerful figures have risen or fallen not by force or fate, but because of one single exposed secret. Secrets, when understood correctly, are tools. They can shield or strike. They can protect or destroy. But more than anything, they hold power, a power that too many surrender carelessly. Now ask yourself, are there certain truths so sacred, so intertwined with your inner world, that they deserve protection? The Stoics certainly thought so. They believed in a kind of strategic silence, one rooted not in fear, but in wisdom. In this video, we explore 10 key subjects the Stoics would recommend you guard closely. Ideas and truths better left unsaid to the world, and sometimes even to those closest to you. These concepts are all interconnected, and by the end of this video, you'll see why your silence may be one of your greatest strengths. 1. The silent battles you're fighting. Behind every smile and every passing glance lies a story. Not always told, rarely understood. Life throws us trials, often invisible ones, and these internal struggles quietly shape who we become. Just like fire forges steel, adversity sharpens character. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Those quiet reactions, the sleepless nights, the private doubts, the personal wars, they define you. But should you reveal them to everyone? Absolutely not. Not all who listen will understand, and fewer still will hold your truths with the care they deserve. Choose your confidants wisely. Some struggles are meant to be shared only with those who've earned your trust. In a world obsessed with exposure, where oversharing is the norm and privacy is rare, discretion becomes a quiet superpower. Let some of your battles remain yours. They're proof of your resilience. Not every melody must be played aloud. Some are meant to be heard only in the sacred space of your heart. As the Stoics believed, profound growth often happens in the quiet. 2. Your self-doubt. You felt it, standing at the edge of something new, only to feel the chill of fear whispering, "What if I'm not enough?" We all experience doubt, but here's the Stoic wisdom. Your doubts are your responsibility. Sharing them too freely risks diluting their meaning or handing their weight to others who may not understand how to carry it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are troubled by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Self-doubt is internal noise, and broadcasting it can amplify it. The world is quick to judge. Share a moment of insecurity and you may receive unsolicited advice, dismissive remarks, or worse, people using your vulnerability against you. Instead, engage with your doubt in solitude. Understand it, question it, reason with it. Growth comes not from voicing every fear, but from mastering them privately. In today's culture of public breakdowns and instant feedback, keeping your self-doubt to yourself might be the most powerful move you make. You don't fix a sinking boat by inviting spectators, you do it quietly with focus. 3. Your future plans. Have you ever noticed how talking about your goals can sometimes feel as satisfying as achieving them? That's a trap. There's immense value in keeping your dreams to yourself. When you talk too much about what you will do, you expend energy on the illusion of progress. The Stoics would urge you to trade chatter for action. Why reveal the entire blueprint before the foundation is even set? In an age where everyone is broadcasting their next big thing, mystery has become a rare currency. Preserve it. History is filled with cautionary tales, none more telling than Napoleon Bonaparte. A military genius, yes, but also a man whose arrogance and openness about his strategies led to his ultimate undoing. Waterloo wasn't just a battle lost, it was a symbol of how overexposure can destroy even the great. Let your results speak for you. Share your victories once they're real, not before. The fewer people who know your direction, the fewer who can disrupt your journey. These are just the first three, and already a clear pattern emerges. Silence, far from weakness, is strength refined. In protecting your inner world, you're not hiding, you're mastering yourself. Stay with us, because the next 7 are just as crucial, and by the end, you'll understand exactly why the Stoics placed such value on discretion, restraint, and sacred privacy. Similarly, business titans like Howard Hughes were known for keeping their ventures tightly under wraps. This wasn't secrecy for secrecy's sake, it was strategy. By staying unpredictable, Hughes kept competitors guessing and stayed one move ahead. In today's hyper-connected world, where social platforms nudge us to share every thought and plan, Stoicism reminds us there's strength in restraint. Silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. When we keep our plans to ourselves, we allow them to evolve without outside interference. We grant ourselves the freedom to pivot, to grow, to fail and recover, without the pressure of expectation. Seneca said it best, "If a man does not know to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." That quote reminds us to define our direction, but not always declare it. Your future doesn't need an audience. It needs your focus, your patience, and your quiet determination. To hold your plans close doesn't mean you lack confidence. It shows you understand timing, discretion, and the chaotic nature of life. You're not hiding, you're cultivating. You're building something solid before letting the world in. When you do reveal your steps, they will be sure, deliberate, and perhaps even surprising. 4. The temptation of excessive comfort. It might seem odd, but there's deep wisdom in keeping our discomforts and small personal challenges to ourselves. Today, stepping outside your comfort zone can feel like an opportunity for social credit. Announce it, and you're brave. Document it, and you're inspiring. But Stoicism teaches us that the deepest transformations are internal, not performative. Every time you rise earlier to read, or go for a cold walk in the rain just to feel alive, those are personal victories. You don't need applause for them. They're not for the feed. They're for you. Even Alexander the Great, despite his unmatched conquests and royal luxuries, would sleep on the ground and eat like his men, not for show, but to stay grounded, to resist the allure of indulgence. That's not about discipline for admiration. It's about not losing yourself in ease. You might not lead armies, but your daily battles matter. Comfort is convenient, but it doesn't shape character. Struggles do. Quiet growth, unseen, uncelebrated, is still growth. In fact, it might be the most honest kind. So take those unannounced walks into discomfort. Challenge yourself in silence. And when you look back, you'll find those moments did more for your spirit than any public declaration could. 5. your vulnerabilities and weaknesses. Everyone has an Achilles heel. It's part of being human, but our vulnerabilities, those soft, hidden corners of the soul, are sacred. They deserve understanding and protection, not exposure. This isn't about denial, it's about discernment. As Epictetus once said, man is not affected by events, but by the view he takes of them. The way we interpret our own weaknesses shapes who we become far more than the weaknesses themselves. Yes, embracing vulnerability is important. These are often scars of growth, traces of pain endured or fears not yet faced. But publicly broadcasting them can distort how we see ourselves, especially when filtered through the reactions of others. By keeping them private, we create space to nurture them, strengthen them, and transform them without judgment. It's an act of self-respect, a quiet commitment to heal and evolve without turning every wound into a performance. History is rich with examples. Abraham Lincoln endured failure and deep melancholy. He didn't parade his struggles. He channeled them into wisdom and compassion. In contrast, Julius Caesar's blind trust became his fatal flaw. The difference: one guarded his inner battles while the others became his undoing. We live in a time of radical transparency where people feel compelled to share everything. But there is power in selective silence. You don't owe the world your innermost fears. Some parts of you can stay sacred. Some pages of your story can stay closed, and that's okay. After all, mystery has its own kind of strength, and often the most powerful chapters are the ones left unread by others. 6. Your personal grievances. They say holding a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. And yet it's tempting to vent, to share our hurts and injustices with others, hoping for comfort or even revenge through sympathy. There's a weight we all carry, an invisible burden of daily irritations, misunderstandings and slights. Like a low hum in the background, they often distract more than they harm. And yet, choosing to handle these frustrations privately, in the manner of the Stoics, fosters a profound sense of inner stability and self-discipline. By resisting the impulse to express every annoyance, we develop resilience. Our energy stays contained, focused, and unscattered. This mirrors the wisdom of Epictetus, who once said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about things." Now think about it. Each time we air our frustrations, we're not just venting, we're subtly fishing for approval, seeking someone to validate our discomfort. But when we choose to turn inward, to reflect rather than react, we create space to ask vital questions. Is this truly worth my emotional investment? Is it within my control? More often than not, the answer is no. And with that realization comes liberation. The grievances lose their grip, and we're left with clarity. For the few that do merit attention, dealing with them through action rather than dialogue is often more empowering. History is full of lessons in this regard. One particularly striking example is the fatal rivalry between Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. What began as personal disdain spiraled into public confrontation. In the end, Hamilton lost his life, and Burr, though surviving the duel, sacrificed his reputation and peace of mind. Their downfall is a testament to what happens when personal grievances aren't resolved inwardly, but allowed to fester and explode. In today's world, we're encouraged to share, to vent, to talk it out. But Stoicism teaches restraint, not to suppress, but to understand, to examine grievances at their roots, and act not from impulse but from intention. So next time you're stung by something small or maddening, pause. Ask yourself, will sharing this change the outcome, or am I simply fueling the fire? Because sometimes silence is strength, and peace, true peace, comes not from being heard, but from mastering your own mind. Now let's shift to another deeply personal realm, your achievements. There's a unique, quiet pride in accomplishing something, whether it's a milestone or a modest win. But in our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, there's a pull to announce these victories, to display them for all to see. The Stoic response, however, is different. It invites you to savor your success internally, to hold it close rather than parade it. Why? Because inner validation is lasting. It doesn't waver with opinions or applause. Publicly showcasing your achievements can sometimes cheapen them, turning meaningful moments into fleeting content. That's not to say we shouldn't share joy. We should. But selectively, intentionally, knowing the difference between celebrating with loved ones and broadcasting for approval. When we draw strength from within, we become steadier. The noise of praise or criticism doesn't shake us, because our worth isn't anchored in others' perceptions. The myth of Icarus offers a symbolic warning here. Enthralled by flight, he ignored the wisdom of caution, flew too close to the sun, and fell. His ambition wasn't the problem, it was the pride, the need to be seen. So when you achieve something next, pause, appreciate it, let it settle in your heart, and then decide, do I want to share this, or simply cherish it quietly? Lastly, let's talk about those quiet desires, the little dreams tucked away in the corners of your heart. Maybe it's the longing to learn the violin, or the urge to paint again, or just the simple dream of watching a sunrise in silence. These are the soft whispers of the soul, easily drowned in the rush of everyday life. There's an instinct to share them the moment they surface, to speak them into existence, but premature exposure can rob them of their magic. Others may not understand, or worse, may unintentionally discourage you. And that's okay. Your dreams don't need to be understood by everyone to be real. Hold them close. Nurture them privately. Let them grow roots before you let them bloom in the world. Because the most precious desires are often the most fragile at the start. And when the time is right, they'll speak for themselves, through action, through creation, through quiet fulfillment. As a silent Stoic once mused, threading wisdom through the ages, dreams whispered to the heart are meant for the soul, not the crowd. If we turn our gaze back in time, Socrates, one of philosophy's towering figures, left behind no writings of his own. Everything we know about him is filtered through his student Plato. And in that absence, there's a peculiar kind of intrigue. We're left to wonder, what did Socrates really think? What private dreams and desires did he carry? We may never know, and that mystery is a quiet kind of beauty. It reminds us of something vital. Not all things are meant to be shared. In a world constantly seeking attention, there is immense value in keeping certain treasures hidden, held close. Take a breath today. Think of the dreams you've yet to voice. Let them take root in the silence of your heart. When they're ready, when you're ready, those dreams can face the world. They'll withstand both applause and criticism. But until then, let them be your secret strength, your quiet melody of hope, your personal magic unfolding gently on your terms. 9. Your personal progress. When a caterpillar enters its cocoon, the outside world sees stillness, but inside a powerful transformation is underway. Now imagine if that caterpillar felt compelled to live stream each shift, each ripple of change. Not only would it be exhausting, it might even stall its growth. Just like the cocoon, personal progress often thrives in privacy. Every step toward becoming your truest self, every moment of realization or healing, these are treasures. But remember, not every treasure needs an audience. Some things are meant to be held in the quiet, to live in your bones, to shape you deeply, far from the noise. That's not to say you should never share. Vulnerability can inspire others. But the Stoics invite us to reflect more than we broadcast. Seneca once said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." Notice, he didn't say, keep telling everyone how you're living. We live in an age where documenting life is second nature. A thought hits, and we rush to tweet it. A small victory, and it's instantly framed for Instagram. But in this scramble to share, the meaning can get lost. Before you post, pause. Ask yourself, is this for connection or for validation? The difference changes everything. Marcus Aurelius, reflecting in his private journals, wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Transformation is personal, opinions are many, and the most authentic evolution often happens off-stage. So move through your journey quietly, if that's what you need. Row your boat through the still waters. When you arrive at a new version of yourself, that moment will speak louder than 1,000 status updates. 10. The rhythm of emotion. Life is a rich canvas, painted with joy, sorrow, anger, tenderness, and all the hues in between. Today, it's common, even expected, to put emotions on full display. Stories, reels, rants, breakdowns, all captured in real time. But there's quiet power in choosing not to share every feeling the moment it arises. Restraint isn't the same as suppression. It's not about bottling things up. It's about understanding that some emotions are sacred, complex, unfinished. Sometimes the world isn't kind to raw emotion. Sometimes it's best to let a feeling settle before giving it a voice. Marcus Aurelius, emperor, warrior, and philosopher, poured his most intimate reflections into a private notebook. What became Meditations wasn't written for an audience. It was a mirror to his soul, a place to understand, not to perform. In our own lives, we rarely pause to feel before we post. We reward reaction over reflection. But wisdom lives in the space between the stir of emotion and the moment of expression. So next time a wave of feeling rises, try this. Don't post it. Don't explain it. Just hold it. Let it breathe. Let it teach you something. Some emotions need time to unfold, to transform. Others may disappear altogether once they've been witnessed by your own heart. Not every emotion is a performance. Not every journey needs spectators. Some are meant to be walked alone, shared only when the soul truly wishes to speak. Thank you for walking this path with us. Your presence here is what allows us to keep delivering thoughtful, soul-stirring content. If a topic speaks to you, drop it in the comments. That's how this dialogue grows. And if today's message resonated with you, consider liking and subscribing. Together we can keep tending the quiet flame of insight. Before you go, don't miss our next videos. Until then, take care and let your silence speak.